Okay, let's get back to work again. So for those of you who are still around, thank you for your patience to stay on and complete this workshop. Okay, so now we are going to talk about something called a pull request. Okay, now pull request has nothing to do with Git, okay, but it's more to do with the collaborative development workflow itself. Okay, so what is the idea of a pull request? Okay, the idea is that all the branches that a developer is working on, at some point of time, you are going to take the content of those branches and merge them back into your master branch, which is on your remote repository, right? So right now on your remote repository, you do have a master branch, right? So I've already said multiple times, your master branch is so-called your production code base branch. It's the most important branch, and all the commits on your master branch are basically code that is ready to deploy for your customer to use. Correct? That's the whole idea. So all the additional features that you develop in your branches, at some point that code has to be merged back in our master branch, right? We have already seen many ways of doing that, right? You merge from another branch back into the master branch. Okay. Now the question is, before you merge your feature branch back into the master branch, typically you want people, that means you want other team members to comment on your code first. Okay, why you want them to comment? Why do you want them to comment and look at your code? Because once the code from your feature branch goes in the master branch, that is so-called your official code base. This is what you are going to release to your customer, right? Your customer is going to use this code base. So therefore, it is the responsibility of the project leader and also of the team as a whole to make sure that anything that you put into the master branch should be good quality, should be ready to be used by your customer. Okay, so how do we facilitate this process? Is through something called a pull request. So the pull request is when the developer is trying to tell everybody else in their team that they have completed their feature branch, or maybe they're halfway through but nearly close to the end. Okay, and it is to notify everybody, please start looking at my code and give me your comments about my code before I merge this code into the master branch. Okay, that is the entire process of a pull request. Okay, is this clear? Okay, so the pull request really is to alert everybody in the team, is to say out to everybody, hey, hello everyone, you guys are all part of the same team as me. Hello, I have nearly finished my feature branch, or I've already completed my feature branch. Now before I merge the feature branch into the master branch, can you guys all please take a look at my code and make sure I didn't do anything stupid? Okay, that is the purpose of the pull request. Okay, so once you have a pull request, you're going to have a review process, you're going to have a forum, and people are going to type code, people are going to type comments about that code in that branch. Okay, and that is meant to kickstart discussion. Like people will say, oh, this code is good, but maybe you forgot to put in this thing, and I think your code is too complicated, or you didn't name your functions properly, or whatever lah. Okay, whatever, you know, comments that you give to each other as part of a team, put that into your pull request forum. Okay, so let's assume now that developer B is now ready. Developer B now is okay. You know, now we're in developer B's homepage, right? So developer B now is ready. Developer B now is ready to actually tell everybody else on the team, okay, you know what? I'm done with my feature. I'm really ready to merge it back into the master branch. Okay, so how does developer B create a pull request? So we go back to the homepage of developer B, and then we go to the pull request part here, and we click in the pull request. Okay, and it will say no open pull request at the moment. And I want you to go to the upper right hand corner here, where my mouse is pointing. Can you see it says create pull request? Okay, I want you to click on that. Okay, so now you will see this page will come out. Okay, so this is the official create a pull request page. This is where you officially create this pull request, which will be broadcast to everybody in the team, that you are ready to merge your feature newcast branch into the master branch. Okay, you notice that by default, Bitbucket will automatically select the latest branch. Currently, there's only one latest branch, which is the feature new cards branch. You will select the branch and you automatically assume that you want to merge it into the master branch. Okay. Now you can obviously change if you have many other branches. Obviously, you can merge from one branch into a different branch. Okay. But 99% of the time, you are always going to be merging from your feature branch into your master branch. Okay, that's what's going to happen 99% of the time. Okay, so basically you are going to first fill in this form. So you might fill in some title here. You can take this title or you can change the title. And then in the description box, okay, there is some default text already provided for you. So you can use that or you can type in your own description. So let's say I'm going to type in my own description. So developer B is going to type in this message here, okay, which is now going to be broadcast to everybody else who is having access to this repository. So developer B now will go here and developer B will type developer B will type, let me remove this and then type maybe just added in some new cars. Please check it out to see whether it's appropriate for our app. Okay, so this is a sample of a message. You obviously don't have to use this format. You can use whatever format you want, right? Basically the message is just to let everybody know, okay, you know what is the purpose of this pull request is because I've added in some new cars and I want you guys to just check it out to see whether it's appropriate or not. Okay, then you can select who are the people allowed to review your pull request. That means people who can comment on this pull request, right? So people who can comment and say, hey, your code is awesome, or hey, your code is just rubbish and a load of shit, you know, whatever. Okay, so who are the people who are allowed to review your code? So here I can right click down here and it will just think for a while. And right now there's only one other person in this project, which is Mark Lerner, that's developer A, right? Of course, in real life, you might have a lot of other people, right? So you can select who are the people from your team that you want to actually give comments on your pull request. Okay, so let's go ahead and put in Mark Lerner. Okay, so now you make sure you've got all this. You've got to create the pull request. It's going from the feature new cards branch into your master branch. You put in some text here to let everybody know what this is all about. You have selected who gets to put in comments or reviews on your pull request, and finally you can click on here to create pull request. Okay, so there's all this blah 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 coming out, so let's just skip the tour first. So now it will say, hey, you know what, there is currently a pull request that is open. Okay, and right now you can see it's open, right, which means it's open for review, right? So people can start commenting on it. Okay, and you can also see there's this thing here to approve and to merge. Okay, so normally the person who will make the final approval is the project manager or the team lead. So in this case it will be developer A, right? Because developer A is our project manager. So Mark Lerner, who is my project manager, is the one who is going to make the decision to approve. Okay, so before we do that, okay, what will happen is developer A, so let's go back to developer A now. So developer A is Mark Lerner. So if I go to developer A's Gmail account, let me go to my own Gmail account now. I will actually get an email. So this is developer A. The developer A will, in his email account, will actually get this email saying, hello, there is this other team member called Victor Tan who has added you as a reviewer on pull request 1. So this is how developer A, who is the team leader, is notified that a pull request has now been created. Okay, so once this person, Victor Tan, this person is Mark Lerner, right? Mark Lerner is my developer A, is a project leader, team lead, all right, project manager. Once you get this email, you know, okay, I can go back now to the repository. I can refresh it. So maybe I just click on here and then I just, you know, go back to the repository again. So now this is in developer A's window. You can obviously go back here and you can look at the pull request. Okay, so you can see, yes, there is a pull request open right now, right? This is an open pull request, right? So you can definitely, okay, go on and see it. Okay, so you can dive into it. So I can click on here to dive into the pull request, and we can skip the tour here. Okay, so now is the time for Mark Lerner, who is the reviewer, to put in a comment, right? So this is the original description. This is from developer B, right? The normal developer. So now this is the comment, okay? The comment or the original description is, I've just added in some new cars. Please check it out to see whether it's appropriate for app, right? So now it's now the responsibility of the project lead now to check the latest changes that were put in, right? In the branch, right? So the branch is feature new cars. So developer A now, who is the project lead, can go over to the branches folder, can check feature new cars, all right? And these are the commits, right? So you can inspect the source code directly here, or you can also download it to your local repository, which is a bit easier for you to inspect, right? So there are two options now for developer A, who is the team lead. They can either just inspect all the latest commits in this branch and then comment on it, or they can download this latest branch to their own local repository. Okay, so that's what we are going to do. We're going to go back to now, we're going to go back to developer A. So now we're in developer A account, developer A bash shell. Now remember, developer A has still not updated his local repository from the remote repository. So if we do something like git branch --all on your developer A account or developer A's local repository, you will see there's still only just master. Okay, there's only just one branch, master, and the remote's origin master, right? We don't have the feature new cars or all those, that new branch that we introduced just now from developer B, because developer A has not pulled down the latest changes from the remote repository, right? So let's go ahead now for developer A to actually pull down the latest changes. So to pull down the latest changes, you are going to type the command git fetch. So git fetch is just saying, get me the latest updates from the remote repository. Okay, so let's go ahead and type that now. So go ahead and type git fetch, press enter. And it may ask you for your password. And if it does ask you for your password, then please make sure that, yeah, so here it's asking me for my password again. So there's this thing that comes up for the password. So again, we need to type in the password token, right? We need to type in here. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to take the app password for developer A. I'm going to right click here. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to take it, go back here. I'm going to paste this in, and then I'm going to press enter, and then we should get it. Okay, I'm going to wait here for 30 seconds to make sure everybody gets the same message like this. If you don't get this message, it means you did not type your app password correctly. Anyone who can't get this? Okay, cool, awesome. All of you got this, great job. Okay, so now developer A has downloaded the latest updates to the remote repository. So now if I do a git branch --all again, I will now see, hey, I have got the local branch is still master, but there's no local feature new cars. Notice, look carefully. There is a remote tracking branch for the remote feature new cars, but locally I still only have the master branch. I still haven't got the feature new cars branch. Okay, let's look carefully. So the git fetch, what the git fetch did was it just created a remote tracking branch that links to the new feature new cars branch that's up there in the remote repository, but it didn't actually download the content of that feature new cars branch. Okay, so how do we actually download it? How do we actually download it? The answer is we type this command, git checkout feature new cars. So when we do this, we are forcing Git to download the latest feature newcast branch, which is upstairs there, the upstream branch. We're going to download it into our local repository as a local branch. So let's go ahead and type in this command now. So we go back here, developer A special, we say git checkout feature/newcast, press enter, and now it says switch to a new branch feature newcast, branch feature newcast, set up the track origin feature newcast. And now if we repeat the command again, git branch -- all, you will now see actually now we actually have got the content of feature newcast. It has been downloaded. Okay, so if you want to just make sure that it's correct, as usual, we can do a git log -- one line -- all, press enter, and we can see yes, now on my local repository for developer A, my project lead, okay, I have already got my feature newcast branch. It's already downloaded. Okay, so that means now developer A can go back to his so I'm going to open two windows now, two file explorer. One explorer is for developer B, so I don't get confused, and another one is for developer A. Okay, so now I have two file explorer, one for developer A's local repository. I have another file explorer for developer B's local repository. Please don't get confused between these two. And now